Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about climate. This is a very short video highlighting some Greenland melting nonsense in the LA Times. A couple of months ago, the Los Angeles Times ran this article titled, "Greenland Melting Like Never Before." The article said, Summit Station, a research camp nearly 2 miles high and far north, warmed to above freezing this year for a record total of 16.5 hours. Before this year, that station was above zero for only 6.5 hours in 2012, once in 1889, and also in the Middle Ages. If you look at climate model projections, we can expect to see larger areas of the ice sheet experiencing melt for longer durations of the year and greater mass loss going forward, said University of Georgia ice scientist Tom Moat. There's every reason to believe that years like this will become much more common. So once again, reality is determined by climate model projections rather than actual history. Now let's look at the actual history. Let's start with this year. The Danish Meteorological Institute says that the LA Times claim is incorrect. The summit camp never actually got above freezing this year. So the entire premise of the LA Times article is already wrong. This year, the summit camp never got above freezing, but it did in 1889 and in the Middle Ages. Let's take a closer look at that. In 1993, Anthony Gow of the Army's Cold Regions Research and Engineering Lab in Hanover, New Hampshire, reported that the center of the Greenland ice sheet was above freezing for over 500 years during the medieval warm period. The Greenland summit was above freezing from 620 to 1150 AD, with carbon dioxide levels below 300 parts per million. But this year, the same location never got above freezing. Reality completely destroys the LA Times argument. The period of time when the Greenland ice sheet was above freezing, the medieval warm period, was shown very clearly in the 1990 IPCC report. That report showed that Earth was much warmer 1,000 years ago, followed by a very strong cooling trend down into the middle of the 17th century, and then warming since then. This understanding of the world completely destroyed the basis of climate alarmism. So history had to be rewritten. Climate researchers decided to get rid of the medieval warm period. Dr. David Deming, a geologist at the University of Oklahoma, gave this testimony to the U.S. Senate in the year 2006. He said, "I received an astonishing email from a major researcher in the area of climate change. He said, 'We have to get rid of the medieval warm period.' And that's exactly what they did. 2 years later, Michael Mann published his infamous hockey stick. He erased both the medieval warm period and the Little Ice Age. And he created this fake hockey stick of warming which occurred right when carbon dioxide hit 300 parts per million. All of a sudden the climate hit a tipping point and temperatures started skyrocketing. In the new version of reality, anytime we're above 300 parts per million carbon dioxide, temperatures are going to go up really fast. So we're going to have to go back to pre-industrial civilization in order to save the planet from global warming. Let's ignore the fact that Earth was much warmer 1,000 years ago and simply go back to the lifestyle they lived 1,000 years ago. That is the underlying message behind climate alarmism. And the LA Times is more than happy to do everything they can to help with this effort to destroy Western civilization. I'll be talking more about the erasure of the medieval warm period in my next video, but in the meantime, the only thing which is melting down is the credibility of climate academics and climate journalists. Visit Toto on the web at RealClimateScience.com. He's been pulling back the curtain on junk science and propaganda for a long time.